Hello all you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with some more Paragon tips and tricks, and today we are going to be talking about how to frontline like a pro beyond pro status, beyond tournament MLG Super 360 no scope status pro. Okay, now before we get into that, I did make a little joke out of that intro because some people really believe that I think I am a professional when it comes to this game. I mean, I'm not a professional, whatever the fuck that means, but I have been playing this game for a while, and if you feel like you're good at the game, then why are you looking up videos on YouTube on how to get better at the game? It doesn't make any sense, because I have been flamed a little bit for using these like a pro titles. I don't know why, they're just titles. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get into the video. So basically, what is a frontline? A frontline is usually a melee character, a hero that focuses on fighting in the front line, obviously in a team fight, so in the front, you know, in front of their allies and right up in the face of the enemy. That's usually what a front line is referred to, and this can be a bruiser, this can be a tank, this can be a jungler, this can be an assassin. They're all considered frontliners, people that are fighting in the middle of the team fight, aka in the middle of the circle, also known as in the front of either side's lines, so to speak. So there's a couple things that a lot of people have trouble with when they're solo queuing or playing as frontliners themselves, or you know, have teammates that are frontliners that just don't know how to do it right. And the biggest thing is initiating and engaging in team fights, because as a frontline, you are usually the first person into a fight, especially if you're the tank who has the most health on your team. So right now is going to be a great example of, you know, me getting caught off guard, but turning it into a team fight situation where, for the most part, everybody comes away pretty clean. And we're going to take this time to go over a mnemonic that I like to use to remind me what to do as a frontline. And I think that it's easier for people to understand it through a mnemonic. So the mnemonic that we're going to be the mnemonic that we're going to be using is CAPE, like a superhero cape. C stands for control, A for attack, P for protect, and then E for escape. So as a frontliner, you have three priorities. That is, control the situation, make sure the situation is controlled before initiating and engaging. Make sure nobody's behind you, make sure that you've warded everything, make sure that your other lanes are all pushed up and everything is good to go, and you are ready for the team fight. If you are not ready for the team fight and you need to resort to plan B, at least make sure that you are controlling the situation with your abilities and your crowd control abilities. Now, Greystone doesn't have too many crowd control abilities, so it's difficult to explain this with him, but I do have some Grukk's gameplay here at the end. You're going to see footage of fights and just how to, you know, manage yourself in the fights successfully. Now the second one, attack. This one's pretty easy. A lot of people are already really good at this. You just straight up attack, but don't just attack anybody. Focus your attack on the main damage dealer. So if the Murdoch is super fed, focus your attack on the Murdoch, okay? Focus your damage on the Murdoch, because usually more often than not, your teammates are going to follow you based on whoever you're hitting, because they see you in the front, they see who you're hitting, and they're going to hit that same target, because the worst thing to do in a team fight is split targets. You want to focus down targets, destroy them one by one, and that is how you win in a team fight. So make sure you attack the most deadly opponent. Now P, make sure you protect your strongest damagiest, dealingest heroes, aka your rangers. Okay, even with this armor meta, your rangers are still your most important damage dealers in the late game, at least. So you want to make sure to protect them, and that means, you know, use your crowd control abilities again to peel for them, aka protect them, keep them out of harm's way, but also in a safe range where they can still keep dealing damage. This is really important with characters like Steel, who have a lot of crowd control and usually build super tanky, so they can't really deal enough damage on their own. Notice how I'm still relentless, and I keep on the pressure against the enemy to protect my ranger from getting targeted by this Kalari, for example, or by that Grukk earlier. So that's also a good way to protect, sometimes just simply body blocking. And then the E stands for escape, meaning that at the end of the day, whether you win the team fight or you don't win the team fight, try to make it out of there alive. If it's important for you and your teammates for you to die in order to win that team fight, then of course, just stay in there as long as you can, deal as much damage as you can, and, you know, just die. But if you do die, make sure that it was for a good cause and that your teammates eventually, you know, end up either taking an objective, winning the team fight, so on, so forth. If you just die for no reason, you're just feeding the enemy, you're giving them more CP, and there's no point. Unless, you're doing it as a distraction in one lane while your teammates are pushing and taking the inhibitor in another lane, so to speak. Now right here, actually, I think the theater mode glitched out and you guys can't see the inhibitor, but there is an inhibitor there, I promise. I actually didn't even pay attention when I was recording this gameplay. There is an inhibitor there. We're attacking it. Again, my allies are getting attacked, so I'm going to try and backtrack, make sure that, they're not getting killed by the Kallari anymore, and I'm going to protect. Always remember that mnemonic. Cape. Control, attack, protect, escape. So I'm going to leave this last clip for you guys to dissect, enjoy it. As Grukks, you're able to use your abilities like smash and grab and your ultimate to stun and pull the enemies away from your allies. This Richter goes really crazy up on our Grim, so I make sure to stun him, give our Grim some space to get back and deal some more damage. And of course, I remember not to get too far behind them because I always want to make sure to escape, especially now with the increased death timers, and in late game, you want to make sure that you stay alive as much as you can so you can keep fighting and you don't have to sit out for 100 seconds. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you all have a wonderful day.